I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here, we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com. That's a nice ride.
This is how you pull up.
Seriously.
This is how you pull up.
Seriously. Good morning, Delray Beach. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jamel.
And we are in the coolest cart in town.
Yes.
And I don't want to get out. I think we got to.
This is a nice ride.
So we're here at the cart shop.
Yes.
And if you have not heard of them, get with the program, because look at these. Jamel, we can rent these and drive around all day.
You know what? This is probably like one of the best things, you know, especially in downtown Delray.
Yeah.
You know, with all of the traffic and everything that's going on. I mean, the golf carts, it's cool.
And it's fun. You don't mind sitting there when you're in like a fun golf cart. When you're in your car, you're like, oh my gosh, people, let's go. When you're in the golf cart, you're just cruising, you're having fun.
You know one thing that I see all the time? There's always golf cart parking.
Always. Always.
Always golf cart parking, especially over there by the Civil Ball.
Yeah.
Along the railroad tracks.
Yeah,
There's
true.
always golf cart parking there.
And I feel like there's all these spots that people make golf parking.
I agree. I've never
if
seen
you're renting one, I don't recommend you doing that, though. You don't want to get that thing towed away.
I know. I've never seen a golf cart get a ticket. I haven't.
So we found the answer, guys.
Don't listen to me, though. Don't listen to me.
No ticket.
Don't say Jamel said you don't get tickets.
Say Jamel told you.
Nah,
so,
my credit is not that good around here.
So Jamel, so you just took part of your football team on a trip.
Yes,
you are a brave man to be out and about with a bunch of teenagers.
You know, took these young men out to Las Vegas. And
crazy.
This was actually, I could say, my first time really experiencing this. It was my second time going. The first time I went, I was sick, so I didn't really leave the room. So being out there experiencing it with the kids, I mean, it was phenomenal. You know, the kids got a chance to really look at something that's not so flat.
Yeah,
you know, here they were looking at the mountainous terrain, you know, the nature. We went out into the Red Rocks Canyon, and the kids loved it, you know, been out there taking pictures. And we did a lot of fun things around the city, man. And to be honest, like just being around these young men, it was a good bonding experience as well. So I mean, I was tired at the same time, but it was well worth it. It was well worth it.
Amazing. I mean, what an experience you're creating for these young men. Like,
and myself too.
And yourself, yes. That you hadn't been there, but also to be there and show it to a bunch of kids who may have not had that opportunity otherwise. Because a lot of people in Florida don't go west.
Well, you know, the crazy thing is just that some of the kids, it was their first time getting on the airplane.
Oh my
So they're asking the question, what boarding? Like, what does this mean? Like, why do we have to come to the airport so early? What is this line?
Like you're crazy.
You know, so many different
things.
You know, but they had a lot of questions, and I mean, the flight wasn't so inviting as well. You know, we had a lot of issues with the flight, but other than that, I had a phenomenal time with these young men.
And you made it back. You made it there and back safe. That's what matters. That's a good trip, right? That's a good trip.
What did you do this past weekend?
I went to La Colonial, and it is amazing. A new restaurant here in town, and what a fabulous time we had. The food was fantastic. The service was great. The environment is, you feel like you're transported somewhere else. It was such a fabulous time. It opens this Thursday, so I got a sneak peek. I know you're going tonight. It's really great. You're gonna have a good time.
I know they have the grand opening. They have the grand opening tonight, which is awesome. I never heard about it, and I was just like, wow. So
well, we kept driving by it because it's right there on Atlantic, and we're like, when is this gonna open. Well, here it is. And it is definitely worth the wait. And check it out because you're gonna have some fun.
They'll probably stop in there and get some footage and everything.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, but we are here in a really, really cool hidden gem. Like when I was putting in the GPS where I was going, I was like, where is this street? I've never even been to this street. I mean, what a cool place to come and get your golf cart. So do you want to introduce our guests of honor?
Yes. What I'll do is...
sorry, I'm missing up my notes here, guys. Yep, I need my coffee. First, we have someone that all of you know. And if you don't, you clearly don't come to Delray Beach.
Yes, and probably if it wasn't for him, this show probably...
No, the show would not. 100% would not be here. He is the original person from this show and one of our favorites in town.
Yes.
You want to introduce him with your voice?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sit back, relax, grab your cameras, grab your phones, do it all for Mr. Ryan Boyson, City Commissioner of the City of Delray Beach. Let's welcome him.
Welcome back.
What an intro.
I know we got to do it. It's official. He's got to make it official.
Try to do it in like my Miami Heat announcer voice or something.
No, I'm really excited about Amanda. I think you just solved the traffic issue in Delray.
Golf carts only.
Golf carts only.
Golf carts only.
Right? If we can't decrease traffic, we can just make you happy to be in traffic.
See?
Because you'll be sitting in one of these. If we're just all sitting in one of those.
Can you imagine?
And they're stylish too.
They're so stylish. And you could sit and then you could talk to each other while you're, waiting for the traffic to go because we all know each other in town, and it'll be great. I think
we're
we
just gonna
solved
find
it.
ways to enjoy traffic.
Yep.
And this is step one.
This is we're standing behind this. This is what we believe in on Delray Morning Live. Golf carts only, guys. As all the car dealerships are calling and screaming at us. No, buy your cars also. We got some great car dealerships
we have
some
attorneys out there that
leave the city.
We have some attorneys out there that make money off accidents.
Lee's like, oh God, I'm leaving Delray. You guys just destroyed everything. So you're always doing a million things, and like on behalf of the show, the city, I mean, thank you for all your hard work, Ryan. Like truly, just you're everywhere. You're so supportive of everything that you can be. You and your wife, Cassidy, are always, there's an opening, they're there. There's an event, they're there. Anything that people are doing, they try to be there. Sometimes I think he's cloned himself because I'm like, how were you in 7 places at one time that day? But really, it means so much to all of us in the city to see you, not just saying that you're a commissioner, but being there for us.
Oh, well, thank you. I've really tried to slow down a little bit over the last year. Instead of trying to be at 7 events in one night, maybe be at 3 and spend a little bit more time at those events. And really take it in. Because my wife once said to me, she said, you thought you were at 7 places tonight, but you really were at 0. And so I was like, you know what? You're right? So I've tried to slow down, tried to spend more time, on all these places, all these events. So I was actually at the La Colonial the other day as well, and I didn't try to make it over the Delray Beach Open quickly after. I took it in. I took a tour of Atlantic Crossing, which is really a beautiful. It's a beautiful project. I'm really excited about that. I'm excited for Delray Beach to experience it. So I had a great time there.
Yeah,
I think even with that, I have to just tell you thank you, just even for your support for Atlantic High and for the football program. You never ask for anything in return, but you're always willing to, just lend advice, give us pointers here and there, connect us with certain people to really help the program. So I got to say thank you for that. You do a lot for us behind the scenes, so it's really great.
Well, how weird is this? My son's going to high school next
year,
and so Atlantic's on the list. He wants to be an Eagle,
Man.
He's
We're going to have to get him an NIL deal.
He's been on the sidelines since he was 3 years old.
That's crazy.
That means we're getting old, guys. We're getting really old.
We offering an NIL deal. Maybe we can get him on. So we're here to really talk about, the GEO bonds, and I know a lot of people really have some.
I have lots of questions for you because when
we
we got very little information on our thing this morning, and I was like, "What are we doing here?" So we got lots of questions for you.
Well, I think that's great because you started peppering me with questions this morning, and I said, you know what? Just save them.
He wants me to look crazy on camera as usual. He didn't want to tell me.
Well, this isn't something that a resident should just know about all the ins and outs of GEO bonds until we get to a point like this where your city really it's our job to educate. And we've been putting a lot out there, on Facebook and through the mail, and we're going to have a town hall meeting, invite everybody out. You can hear it in person live, and of course Delray Morning Live. So you're going to hear about it. You see the signs, around town. We're trying to, get it out there. But this is a good opportunity. Frequently asked questions.
So the person like Amanda, there.
The person like a man, I was confused.
How do you answer that question? Because when y'all first see it, I'm like, what is a go bond?
Okay, wait. Let me ask. So the first question that I started drilling him with, because I was like, I want to have the information, Ryan, so we can make sure we give accurate. And he's like, no, we're going to do it on camera, because he likes to do this to me. This is how this used to roll. He used to just like stick me out there and be like, what? So, or can we buy bonds from the city? Because I was like, I'll support the city. I'll buy some bonds. I'll give you my money. So what is this, Ryan?
So we're not allowed to do that.
Okay, so they can't sell you bonds, guys. You can't buy bonds from the city.
So in its simplest form, we are asking permission to go borrow money, right? So if you think about it in this way, you have your home, and maybe you've paid it completely down. Which guess what? As of next year, we'll be pretty much debt free as the city. We pay off our past GO bonds. So you have this house, you have all this equity, and you need a new roof, and you need a new AC, right? And maybe you want to put a pool in, right? And you have all these things. Now you could dive into your savings, maybe, right? Not a good idea. Definitely not a good idea for our city, right? So what do? You leverage the equity in your home, and you go borrow money, right? And it's put over 30 years, just like a GO bond would. So that's what we're doing. Over the last few years, in all of our annual meetings, we go through our CIP budget, which is all of our infrastructure, and there's an incredible amount of improvements that are needed: streets and bridges and parks and all the things you don't see that are underground and are very expensive. So we have all those. But then on top of that, we said we want a new community center, Pompey Park.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
That's 20 to 25 million.
Woo.
We need a new police station. That's 80 million. We need a city hall. Best case scenario, even if we kind of add on to what we got, we're talking 60 million. New water treatment plant, over 120 million. Then and so the list goes on. Those are big numbers. We get up to $500 million, right?
So I say when you're saying that the city is going to loan the money, as a taxpayer, how does that impact me? How does that affect me?
Yeah, so great question. So we're going to go out and borrow, it's 2 GO bonds. There's one for $100 million, and that's for public safety. Most of those funds, like I said, it's about $80 million, most likely for the police station. So most of the funds are going to the police station. And then the rest will go to improving our fire stations, kind of be spread throughout our fire stations. So for that $100 million bond, that'll be about $90 a year if your home value is about $250,000.
Okay.
So if your home value is $500,000, you would just double that. So $180, not a month, a year.
Okay.
For the entire year.
And then that gets broken down across the year, not at one time. You pay it
monthly or something.
Like
yeah, it's in your property tax.
It's in your property tax.
It's in your property tax.
So it's not like you're not going to get hit with a bill at the end of the year that you weren't planning on. It's going to be a little bit over time.
Yep, and it's over 30 years. And remember, it's only as we borrow it. And that's another important part is some people say, well, why would you borrow money right now? We're not borrowing money right now. We're asking permission to borrow money right now, right? It won't be till about 6 months when we actually can. And even at that point, we won't be ready, right? So we have to go out to the community and say, what are the park improvement plans we want? We have a few things already that we know we want to do. One of them is almost a full-size synthetic football field at Catherine Strong. That will be covered. There's only one other in the state of Florida. Think about that. Almost an entire football field covered with lights. So not only can we use it for the rocks, right, for practice, but we can use it for craft fairs, right, at night. We don't got to worry about weather. We can show movies at night, don't have to worry about it. So we have pickleball courts and covered basketball courts and all these, but we're also going to have the opportunity to go back out to the community and say, what else do you want? You passed this $20 million bond. What else do you want as far as parks improvement? So that's going to take time. And then you got to make the plans and the construction documents and so forth. At that point, we start drawing, right? We start drawing from that $120 million credit, right, that we can pull from. So we're not borrowing the money the day after the election. It's just not possible.
And I think that was actually answering my second question is, at first, we all know that the parks need improvement.
Yes.
So everybody is agreeing, hey, yes, we agree, here's a loan, go ahead and get it. But right now, we're not even talking about specifics. What are the specific changes that are going to take? Right now, it's just saying, okay, we agree that, yes, we need this money to improve our parks and our...
Once everyone votes, okay, yes, you're going to get the money. What is then the process to decide how it's going to be spent? Because obviously you guys aren't just like picking out of a hat a thing. What does that process look like of how it's going to be allocated?
So in a GO bond, we don't have to get granular, but we got to be a little bit specific. So you'll see on our frequently asked questions page on our website, it kind of breaks down what are some of the bigger items, which we already discussed some of them on parks. But then the rest of the money will be peppered throughout all of our parks.
Beautiful.
And we'll get that input from the community. So that will be step one, is having public charrettes where we go out to the community and say, okay, we know we're going to do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
How should we do it?
Yeah.
Right? And like, we're going to make improvements to our splash pad at Catherine Strong.
So cute.
But what do those improvements look like?
Yeah.
We don't know yet. What are you looking for as a
Right.
resident? So we'll go back out, we'll go to the community, and then we'll get the ball rolling and start prioritizing those. But what's really nice is with the Geo Bond is that those things they don't have to be put in line with everything else that needs to be funding, because you guys gave us permission and we have the funds allocated.
Yep.
So we can go right to work while we're still doing all the other infrastructure projects.
So, and to go back to something that you said earlier, there were 2 previous loans that the city went out and received. And I know you say we're paying back, the city is paying, or the taxpayers are paying back on that right now. What do you say to the people that are still questioning, like, okay, what happened? What did we do with the other money that we borrowed?
Oh, that's a good one.
So how do you answer that?
So the last Geo Bond that we did, the biggest thing that we built was the old school square parking garage.
Huge,
right?
Especially
So that's something
for here with our traffic
and our parking, right?
All the parking spaces.
And our parking. So that was the commission and the mayor and the mayor at the time. They went out to the Geo Bond, asked the voters. They also had a parks element, so the old school square park, but also other improvements. In Delray's history, we have never failed to pass a Geo Bond. So
Wow.
any time that we have asked the voters, hey, we're going to go out and borrow money. Now we're really good about borrowing money after we've paid off our debt.
Right.
Right?
Which
So,
is really
which this is lining up. We're
Yep.
going to make our final payment at the beginning of 2024. It's only a year from
Yep.
now.
Right.
So by the time we start drawing on this, we have already paid down our debt. And I'll add that we have lowered the millage for almost 10 straight years by 0.1.
Wow.
So that was a commitment that the commission made prior to me, and now I've been there for 5 years. We did pause it 1 year. It was flat during the pandemic. But this past year, we lowered it by 0.15, and next year we hope to lower it by 0.15 to catch up to that commitment of 0.1 for 10 years straight. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, wait a second, I paid more in taxes. Well, that's because our property values have gone up.
Have shot up.
Right? So
Yes.
the good side is your home's worth more.
Yep.
The downside is you're going to pay some more taxes. But your property taxes have not gone up because we've raised the millage, because actually we've lowered it every single year. And that little bit extra that you've been paying for the bond is going to fall off, and then we're going to replace it with this bond.
So how could our residents, how could they get more information on the Geo Bond?
And to come to your meeting.
in the information about
we have
it.
we have a town hall coming up. So I would follow us on Facebook if you don't already follow the city. We have a fantastic communications department. Gina does a great job. She's our PIO. She's the head of all marketing, constantly putting content out, videos out, information. And then we have a frequently asked questions, which is getting edited almost every week, because we get a new question we didn't think about. And so I would go to those resources, and definitely if you want to attend our town hall meeting, I think that's a great idea as well. And we can post all the information, make sure everyone has the date for that.
That's great.
I think that's great information.
And thank you for sharing this with us,
Yes.
because I mean, a lot of us were like, what does this mean? So I think it is important for you to be informed. So go to the town hall, go online.
Yeah, and I have to
do
say,
your
like,
research.
I went to the website last night, and it was very informative. I mean, it wasn't a lot of information, but it got right to the point, and it let you know
Other things
exactly
you
what
need
you
to
need,
know.
especially the frequently asked questions. They really give you all the information that you need. The baseline questions, I mean, so they did a very good job with that piece. So.
And it's something to get really exciting about. I know a lot of people have questions, but it's
Right.
exciting when your city
Right.
is thinking about all these major improvements. And I'll tell you, our police department has hung in for a really, really long time.
And
I
they
mean,
work so hard.
They're sharing like 3 people to a desk, 6 desks to a room, areas that aren't even offices. I mean, we
Right.
really are to that point.
Yeah.
And they've been very patient, especially through the pandemic. We would have loved to have this GO bond on a ballot a few years ago,
Yeah.
and it just, it wasn't possible. Now we're doing it. We're going to prioritize that. We're going to build a new police station. It's going to stay in the same location.
Right.
So we're really excited about that. And
great.
hey, safety and parks.
Yes.
But and not even that. When you talk about the underground infrastructure, there's a lot of cities that I go into. We get a lot of rain here, so there's a lot of towns that I go into. They flood like crazy.
Yep.
Delray doesn't flood that much, especially in
Knock
certain
on
areas.
wood.
I mean,
As we flood
that's
out.
concrete.
Blame
but
him.
anyway, but I gotta say, I mean, there's a lot of money
Yeah.
that we're putting into the infrastructure, underground, doing things of that nature. I mean, there's certain other areas that probably needs improvement, but I can't say that there's a lot of work that has to be done underground that we don't see as well. So
we do have a sea level rising infrastructure plan where we have to spend hundreds of millions of dollars over the next 10, 20 years, because some of areas in our community do see flooding, right?
Yeah,
but I know you're comparing us probably to some of the more South County that you spend some time in, Jamel, and you're right, we don't quite have the problems they do because we've tried to stay.
It rains a little bit.
We're not ahead of it. No one really is, but we try, right?
Yeah.
We try. Well, we have to chip away at that every single year, right? That's why this GEO bond is so important, because we won't be able to just write a check and pay for that police station, right? We have to do it through a GEO bond, and luckily we're debt free next year. It's a perfect time to do it. Parks and safety, health and wellness.
Amazing.
Yes.
I love it.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for all of your hard work.
All right.
We appreciate you, and thanks for coming back. And he has this thing right in his head.
I know, right?
Bye. Thank you.
And when you talk about the residents that live along Marine Way, right along the intercoastal,
because that
they
does
spend a
flood.
lot of money with their homes.
Yep.
I mean, when I look at
Beautiful
during the
homes.
King Tide period, I
Yeah.
mean, me and my son, we really don't have to go out and cast
You just
out.
go on the street.
We just walk out,
You grab
pick
them.
up-
Get a
pick up
little
the
net.
fish and
Get it.
put them on your shoulder.
That's
No,
so
but
funny.
I think
That's
it's
so funny. But no, it's true. And so any of these things that they're doing and being proactive about helping and making sure that our town stays incredible and protected is a big deal.
I really got excited really going on the website, looking at the different things that the city is looking to change. And I'm like, wow, this city is going to look so different in 5 years.
Yes, absolutely.
So it is exciting. So I'm hoping everybody really go out and vote the right way, vote how they feel that they should, at the city. So.
And you could take a golf cart.
Yeah.
Go to town hall in style.
Go to town hall.
I mean, that one that we rode, that's a beautiful cart. Obviously very excited to have these guests on earlier. Would you like to announce them as well?
Yes. So we're here at
another chair.
What were you going to say something?
I was saying we need another chair.
Oh, okay.
I was like, are they gonna, whose lap are they sitting on?
Okay. My name is Santa.
Oh boy.
No, we're here at the cart shop in Delray Beach. We have Christian and Dan D'Oliviera. I hope I didn't pronounce the name wrong. They're going to come and talk to us about the shop.
Thank you for having us. I'm a hug. Let me give hugs.
Yes, sir.
Hi, thanks for having us. What?
Thank you guys for coming. No problem.
Cool spot.
Thank you.
I mean, not only are your carts super cool, but the space as
Look at the
well where
garage.
you come. I mean, this is like a next level garage, like in some Hollywood movie, guys.
Yes.
This is like
an elevated man cave.
This
that's
is really
exactly
close.
what it is. Are we allowed? Thank you. I'm glad we're welcome. Thank you. I feel like there's all these.
Everyone is welcome.
So you guys are new here in Delray Beach. So talk about the concept and why Delray Beach. Why you bring your business here to Delray?
So I was born and raised in Delray,
Okay.
and I have a real estate brokerage in town for 17 years. And this actually came about because Dan and I had a real estate investment in downtown Delray. We had a historic house, and prices were insane. So we had an opportunity to exit that and had a 1031 real estate exchange. We bought this building. We had no idea what to do with it. We didn't know whether we were just going to lease it out as an investment property.
Yeah, initially we were going to do that.
Yeah, and I had literally 12 years ago, I told him, I go to the Bahamas every year and you can rent golf carts to get around. And I said, one day I'm going to semi-retire, I'm moving to the Bahamas, and I'm opening a golf cart rental.
It was actually the first time I ever met you.
Yeah.
It was a party, and I was like, this kid is crazy.
He wants golf carts. What's
He's
the
like
matter
in
with
his
him?
early 20s talking about retirement, golf cart
Good
rentals
for
to the
you.
Bahamas.
I
was
like that.
Okay, man, like that's great.
So if he's crazy and you followed him,
Who's crazier?
Years ago, so it's like 12 years of convincing, right? I'm like, you're onto something.
Yeah.
Dan
Oh no,
was
you're
like, "Hey,
onto something.
We're in the building, we already bought it." And he's like, remember a dozen years ago you were talking about renting golf carts in the Bahamas? Like, we don't have to go over there to do it.
Yeah,
So
start over here.
that's how it started.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that when you have people who have a dream, and to other people it sounds crazy, but it's this thing you're so passionate about and you want to do, and it happens. I mean, like, and you did it in such an incredible way. You weren't just like going getting some rickety carts and like have them out on the street somewhere. Like,
no, these are stylists.
I mean, they're unbelievable.
This is something that if I was, a senior in high school again, I'll take my date to prom or
Oh
something.
gosh, yeah,
Hey.
this is way cooler than a
21 and
limo.
Oh, there we go. That's a good
Sorry,
question.
guys. Well, the parents can drive
Yes,
it.
okay.
And parents, you can take the kids in a
Yes.
cart.
Yeah.
So how does it work? Because I'm sure there's people local too. I'm sure you get a
lot of out-of-town people. But for locals that want to have a fun time and go stay at one of the hotels even and have a cart and have a nice time, how does it work to be able to work with you guys?
So it's super easy. So we're here 7 days a week. So you can rent the cart the same day. So if you come pick it up when we're open, drop it off before we close, or you could take the cart overnight, multiple days, weeks. We have people that have had them for a couple months.
Oh, so you could do long-term rentals
Yeah,
also.
yeah,
Very
correct.
cool.
So like with Delray and their seasonal visitors,
Yeah.
obviously we have some clients that are here for a couple months.
Yeah.
And they don't have a golf cart where they're staying, but they'd like one. So they contact us, whatever, they can come to the shop to pick it up. We'll
So
deliver
cool.
it. We work with all local hotels. We do delivery and pick up there so their guests don't have to leave.
Oh my
We're slowly
gosh.
integrating with them even further so that the experience for their guests is more seamless, right?
Yeah.
But with that said, you can go on our website at any time, thecartshop.com. It's really easy. It takes about 3 minutes to go through the reservation process. We ask you basic information about
3
yourself.
minutes.
Yeah, you can really
3
get done in
minutes,
3
guys.
minutes.
This, I mean,
Yeah,
because
you
you go
really
through
can.
some of those things and you're there for an hour. You're like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
no,
want my blood type too?
It's fast, and unlike like other rentals, right, where you pick a class, you specifically pick what color you want. They're all the same. So all the carts are identical. We've spent time, like months, getting them to be exactly the same. So you pick a color when you show up. That's the color cart that we give you. Obviously, you have to be 21 years of age, valid driver's license, and an active auto insurance policy, just like renting a cart.
Yep.
So then you come here, we bring the cart to you, we go over the cart quickly with you. So, we vetted out all the insurances to make sure that the riders are safe. All the procedures that we go through to make sure you understand how the cart works. Some people come from out of town, they've never driven a golf
Yeah.
cart. They've never even seen that you can drive one on the street before
Right.
they get here. They're like,
But that's very
and
confusing.
we get crazy questions. We get some off the wall questions sometimes.
Yeah.
We get people that say, "Oh, can we drive this on the sidewalk?"
On the sidewalk.
You cannot drive them on
Like,
the sidewalk.
Oh,
you were
please
on it when
don't
you
do
pulled
that.
up. It's
Please
pretty
don't
big
do
for a
that. Yeah,
sidewalk,
it's
right?
very- that's not.
And
we
you
don't
cannot
sidewalks
drive them
that
on the
wide.
beach either. I
No.
get that question.
Oh.
all the
Because
time.
Oh,
in
you're
some
gonna get
cities
stuck.
like
You cannot
Daytona, some
drive-
areas you can drive on the beach. So I
Yeah,
could
so
get,
people from out of town that are not very familiar with it have questions. So, we go over all that. That's part of like the process when
Yeah.
you pick it up, so that you're comfortable on it before you leave. If you've never driven one before, we'll let you go around the building. We'll drive with you, whatever it is to make you comfortable. Then
Yeah.
you leave, and we're here 7 days a week. So
Yeah.
if something were to happen, you run the battery dead because you're not paying attention. We work with you. We try to swap out a cart for you, get you back on the road quickly. So we're really hyper focused on the experience. And I think we've done a really good job at executing that for the most part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, because these aren't just like regular old golf carts. So there's a lot going on in these carts. Can you tell us a little bit about the carts and what makes them? Because you just from looking at them, they're special. But then you get in it and you're like, whoa.
We spent a lot of time researching the right type of carts to buy that have longevity and safety. And then on top of that, we spent months doing our own testing, making sure that all these carts drive the same. So they all have upgraded lithium-ion batteries. So normal carts usually have 6 batteries like your car would have. And as the battery degrades, the performance decreases.
Yeah.
These, you will have 100% of the performance a whole term through the battery. So about 40 miles to a charge is what we tell people. And then we widen these carts 4 inches. So the wheelbase was widened 4 inches. It makes a world of difference as far as stability goes. I know 4 inches doesn't sound like a lot, but it changed.
That's a lot,
It changed
especially
the way
when
it
you're talking about the
rides.
size of a cart.
So you don't get that wobbly feeling
Yeah.
when you're on these. They're super planted, super stable. And we also tune them. Like these have software like you could tune like a car.
Oh, wow.
Dan and I are car aficionados, so like, we
Okay.
approach this from a safety standpoint. We do a lot of drag racing. Dan's race car sitting back here.
I know, I keep looking at it. That is a beautiful car.
Thank you very
So
much.
we approach this like we do drag racing. Like, what's the safest way we can have
Yeah.
a good time?
Yeah.
So all of the carts were tuned by somebody that worked for the cart manufacturer for years. So they all drive exactly the same because believe it or not, from the factory, they all drive a little differently.
Interesting.
So this way you can be in stop and go traffic when you're cruising down Atlantic Avenue, and if you barely touch the throttle, you'll barely go. So we spent a lot of time making sure that the experience was perfect.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I like it. And one thing I can say, like with these golf carts, and to that token, when I was driving it in, usually as soon as you touch the pedal, you
you're
get
jerking
that
back
jerk
and
on you.
forth and-
But
yeah.
it
No,
was a
not at all.
smooth. It was a smooth transition, and when
Yeah, I
your
was
throttle
scared. I got
coming
in with him and I was like, oh no, what's he gonna do?
We
And
spent
it
a lot of-
was very
We
smooth.
spent a lot of
Yeah.
time on that. A lot of time.
And I want to talk about the one that we drove in on because it is really cool. There is really cool artwork on this. So can you tell us a little bit about what is this artwork? Who did it? Because it's unbelievable. It looks like something that you would see in an art show.
Yeah, so we did that live at a Art and Jazz Fest.
So cool.
I think it was in October. We had an artist, Marlon Cruz, who's a somewhat famous like Wynwood, Miami artist. He did that cart in about 3 hours with a single paint marker. Went around, he never saw the cart before. We spoke to him briefly on the phone. He showed up, he sat down, he was eating a sandwich. I'm looking at Christian, I'm like, he's not gonna be able to paint this cart in time. Like, it's just too much, it's too much cart for the time that we have.
Yeah, nope.
He got right to it. Then they started playing different jazz music. We were right by the stage. I walked over to him and gave him a water, and he's like, oh, this music is really, really what I need right now. He just, I blinked and he was on the other side of the cart.
He just went.
So I asked him at the end of the night, I said, like, what were you really like looking at when you showed up? You were staring at it. He's like, well, there's a lot of shapes to it. So I was just thinking about what I could draw where. And I've never seen one before. So he was like, I was just getting ready. And he started going with one single paint marker.
So cool.
Yeah, so that cart is available for rent. We had it wrapped with a protection film, so it will always look like that.
That was going to be my question. I was like, you're going to come off?
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Everyone's first instinct is to go touch it to see if it's paint or like a wrap. So we wrapped it with a clear film, so it'll always look like that. Yeah. Through the car stuff, we have a guy that does that really well.
The attention to detail. I mean, who even thinks, oh, let's take we have these beautiful cards, let's take it one step further and have a professional artist come and make it a driving work of art. I mean, that's really cool, guys. The business you've built and the level of safety that you've considered, because like some people get a little crazy on golf carts. We see them around town, so to have put in these things so they can't.
We have safety measures in the carts too, so if people are doing things they shouldn't, we get alerted.
We'll know.
That's like when you put on teenagers in their cars, you can see what they're doing.
People get surprised, I think, when they get a text message saying, hey, is everything okay?
Oh, was that an alarm that I heard when I was coming through the elevator? Is that what I heard when I was coming through the elevator?
They were tracking you. They said, oh.
The great thing about downtown Delray is it lends itself so well to this.
Yes.
So we have 12 square miles of 35 mile an hour under roads. So that's a big question we get all the time. Where can we drive these? So legally, any road that's 35 miles per hour under is the speed limit. And all of downtown is the entire core, all the way to Gulf Road, all the way to Southwest 10th.
So when you're leaving here, how do you, because Federal's is
35.
It's
35.
Yeah, so when
you just don't follow that.
That's the great thing, though. You don't need to take Federal.
Yeah.
You can go down George Bush. You can take A1A.
True. If you just go a little bit, that's true.
So you could cross
from
right
here,
over.
you can go right through the neighborhood to get to George Bush.
Oh, even better. So if you're a little nervous about being on the street, on the fast streets,
never need to touch
which are 35, are very fast 35 streets. But the amount of accidents we have for a road that's 35, guys, you got to do better. These drivers have got to do better. This is crazy. But so you don't have to feel like you're scared, because it's true, especially when you go through downtown by the restaurants and stores. It's so cute, and when you're on a golf cart, it's so much more fun.
And you see things that you've never seen before. I was born and raised here. I see houses, I see businesses all the time when I'm on the carts that I never noticed.
Absolutely.
And not having that, you think you have the windows down or the top down and a convertible even, you notice things that you have never seen before. And it's great because it slows down traffic for everyone, makes it a little safer to, downtown, everyone seems to be in a rush sometimes, and this is a good way to let everyone have a good time.
So right now we may have some people sitting at home wondering, how do I get more information? I want to rent one. What's the website? What's the website? What's the phone number? How could they get in contact?
Thecartshop.com, or you can give us a call at 561-414-2995. If you go to thecartshop.com, it literally will take you 3 minutes. If you have your credit card, your driver's license, and your auto insurance policy ready, it will take you even less time than that.
And even better, you can come in and see us. We're open
we'll do it
7
right here in
days a week.
person too if you want to come
and
in.
And they're really nice guys. I think you should come in and see it, because it is just such a cool space. I mean, really, how you built this out is it's so fun. Like, it's inviting.
And we got a pool table. We have a classic 1950s Coke machine. So even if you just want to come by and just hang out, shoot a game of pool.
This is what we're going to do. They can sit here. Let's go for a ride.
We gotta get back on that. Sorry guys, you're fun, but your car.
Right, let's take a ride. We're gonna go ahead and go for a ride.
We're gonna go see all the infrastructure
good.
changes.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I'll be back.
Thank you.
Don't send me any text messages.
Thank you. All right, we're going. Ryan, you can get front. You get shotgun because you know you're official. You're official. Oh, he's scared. He didn't want to go in the front with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a Delray day. We love you. Wow. Oh, going the wrong way.
Remember that crazy driver I was talking about, guys? Right here. That's him going 75 down there.
Peace.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow, and you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.